Some quick thoughts about the contradiction that we've been seeing with, normie sort of progressives regarding, guns and self-defense and things like that. Because, a lot of people are noticing, well, of course, it's cool when Ukrainians arm themselves and defend themselves, but when Americans try to do it, well, it's a big problem. Obviously, they don't care about the contradiction. They're serving their God. But, and I started thinking about this when I saw Karen Swallow Pryor's tweet, although I don't think she fits into this category that neatly. But here's the thing. Forget what they're saying. Forget what progressives and liberals are saying. Because we know full well that a lot of these people, if I were to get on YouTube and say, hey, every Christian man should own an AR-15, every Christian man should own some body armor and, tools of defense just in case, right? They would say, oh, that's just dangerous, it's Christian nationalism. Oh my God, he's an extremist, things like that. Ignore them. Ignore them, because here's the reality. You have a job to do before God to defend and protect your family, your local community, your church, and things like that. So those normie kind of progressive types are going to talk trash on you, and you have to be okay with that, because they're going to say all kinds of evil things about you in the coming years, and you need to be okay with that, because you've got a job to do before God, right? You've got to fear God more than men. So yeah, they're going to call you a Christian nationalist, right-wing extremist if you buy body armor and AR-15 and a lot of ammunition. Do it anyway. Do it anyway, because when the time comes and things pop off, you're going to want to be in the position that God puts you in, and the people that were talking trash about you and all that kind of stuff are going to need to be protected, because they're not going to have jack. They think that the government's going to come save them. You know what I mean? So just ignore them. Do what you got to do before God. The guns thing is just a small example. There's so many other examples of preparations you need to make right now that you're going to be made fun of for making. Forget what they have to say. Another thing I've been thinking about is kind of the temptation that we have to almost overestimate, our enemies. Like, we think that the propaganda has to be fine-tuned and like perfect in order to have an effect on people. That is not the case at all. Think about this Ukraine stuff, right? Like the propaganda about their president, this Zelensky guy, all it really took was 2 photos and 1 video of him, the selfie video with him saying, we're not going anywhere, and everyone is like, oh, wow, this guy is the definition of a leader. He's righteous, he's holy, he's the just one in this situation. Knowing nothing about the situation, everyone and their mother thinks this guy is like the definition of hero. And it's so bad that you could even show them the video of him in high heels and leather, dancing like a stripper. It doesn't matter. He's the most masculine person ever. You can show people the video of him playing the piano with his penis, and pulling his pants down for clicks, and people are like, no, it doesn't matter. He's righteous. He's the lion. It's so effective, and it didn't take anything. It just took a couple pictures. But the thing is, they lay it on so thick that so many people are hip to the game now. People get it. People understand. They see how quickly everyone flies the Ukrainian flag, and they're like, there's something up here. More people are waking up every day, and it's amazing. So don't overestimate our enemies. These guys are not experts, and they make mistakes all the time. Like this Zelensky guy is a huge wake-up call for a lot of people. And so that's really all I had to say. I mean, don't grant the enemies too much power, too much effectiveness, because really at the end of the day, they're kind of fumbling over themselves to make these narratives work, and they're not working the way they used to. Oh, and one more thing. The thing about the propaganda that I've noticed is that it requires like a quick hit. Like, people have to pick up on it right away in order for it to succeed. When there's any pushback or any hesitation in the beginning, the story is quickly abandoned and they change it. And it kind of reminds me of this documentary I watched about this scam company. It's like a company that those people that like they'll harass you in Walmart. You know what I mean? With like a product, and like they hard sell you kind of thing. Anyway, that's a whole business, right? And the whole sales process for that business is something they call impulse. And so basically the idea is if they can influence you quickly that the product is interesting, they've got a very good chance of closing you. If they can't, they just move on. They just drop it and go from there. It's basically all about getting that initial impulse. And if they get it, they spend a lot of time with you to convince you to buy the product. If they don't get the initial impulse, they just quit quickly. And I think it's the same thing with propaganda. Like they get that quick hit, that quick, response, and they know they're onto something. They try stuff all the time and it doesn't work. Yeah, anyway.